Yeah, so on the back of last night, we're very confident that Kamar will pull through. We think he's got that really early. He's just come off with a bit of tightness. I think he's been really sensible there. I said to the players, on this surface, having trained on it the day before, not to be taking any risks. So he's done the right thing. So we're confident on Kamar. Just got an update on Liam Balogun. He'll clear with the physios today, hopefully, and he'll be available as well. Jack, Rebo and Barker are progressing well, but won't be with us for the weekend. Alfredo's fine as well. He's still got stitches in his knee, but he played last night with no problems and will be available, which is impressive for the injury he's got to come through. 3 days after that was fantastic.
Thanks, Stephen. David Tanner with a question, please.
Thanks, David. Morning, Stephen.
Morning.
How pleased were you to see Alfredo Morelos scoring terrific goals, but also smiling and looking as though he was happy and enjoying himself last night?
I think that's a great visual for me all the time. When I see him smiling, when I see him enjoying his football, when I see him in good shape. We know he's a fantastic goal scorer. I think his goals were different last night, but 2 fantastic finishes. He's in the right place at the right time for the first one, which you don't coach. I think you're born with that, where you sniff them goals out. And the second finish is obviously, he shows his class and his touch. But even before a ball was kicked, even just to make himself available, he's very robust. And for a manager, he's always there for you. I think a lot of players wouldn't have pulled through with what he had from the weekend. So I'm really pleased for him, and it's great to see him smiling. I think he has a real good rapport with the players when he's out there on the pitch, but he seems a lot happier in the last few weeks.
Robert Fearney, please.
Morning, Stephen.
Morning.
Looking ahead to Hibs on Sunday, they obviously went to the game in good form. Seen a lot of goals and playing pretty well. What do you make of the challenge they pose, and how difficult is it going into an away game like that, sort of sandwich between 2 away European games? I guess is that an unusual challenge, given that you maybe normally have a home game either side of that?
Look, I think in terms of the schedule, we just have to accept what it is. We know it's going to be unique and different this year because of the COVID. In terms of Hibs, they're a strong team. They're playing with confidence. They're playing with a lot of rhythm in the game. They've got a good coach. So it's going to be a tough challenge for us going to Easter Road, but we're going there with confidence ourselves. We're playing well. We're defending well. We're looking a real good threat going forward. So we're going to Easter Road to attack and to win the game, and my focus is certainly on us, and we couldn't be in a better place going into it.
Alison Conroy, please.
Domestically, do you think this trip to Easter Road will be your toughest challenge of the season so far, given how Hibs have started as well?
Well, I wouldn't like to disrespect Aberdeen by saying that. I think Aberdeen going to Batodry, the first game of the season, on the back of a different pre-season, was a very big challenge as well. So I don't like to rate what was tougher out of that. What I would say is Easter Road's going to be another tough challenge for us. We're playing against a good Hibs team that are in form. So you treat this game in isolation, but we're going there with respect, but certainly with confidence that we can go and do the job.
Andy Newport, please.
Hi Stephen, can you just give us your thoughts on Willem II in the next round of the Europa League, and also if you do manage to get through that round, if you would fancy your chances against Jose Mourinho in the round after that?
Well, I think first and foremost we need to enjoy last night and qualifying last night. We're certainly aware that the level is going to go up in the next round. We watched the game the night before that Willem II played against Progress, and they're a good team with good players, good exciting attacking players. So we're certainly aware of the task and the challenge that it's going to become a lot more difficult. But it's certainly a game we're looking forward to. We know we have to go to Hibs first and put in a performance there, and hopefully go in a real good place.
Gabriel, go ahead please.
Morning Stephen.
Morning.
Just going back to the game on Sunday against Hibs, obviously at Easter Road, do you think they will perhaps come out and play more than other teams, or especially Ibrox teams off the day? Do you think they will come out and play, or do you think it could be a case of the 2 best defences in the league cancelling each other out?
Well, I'd certainly be guessing, because I don't know what Jack Ross is going to do. I don't know how he's going to set up. I've got a good idea, or if you go on the previous games that they've shown this season, I think it'd be very strange if they change their style. And yes, they do play a bold attacking game, but we'll have to wait and see on the day what we come up against. But my focus and my attention's on Rangers and what we're going to produce and provide on the day. And we're going to go there and be on the front foot, and we're going to be aggressive and bold. So from where I sit, it's a case of, can Hibs stop us? We're not going to Easter Road to set up defensively and look for a draw. We're going there to try and win the game.
Raman, go ahead.
Hi, Stephen.
Hello.
Can I ask a question about your keepers and Morelos, if that's okay? Did you always intend to play Alan McGregor in this game when he was fit? And if you have an extended run in the competition again, is that something that you might look at in terms of alternating your keepers to keep them happy or not?
I think I'll decide at the time from game to game. What I will say is I've got two fantastic keepers who are going to push each other really hard. I can see that in training. It's competitive. They get on really well. They've got big respect for each other. I didn't predict or envisage that it would have gone the way it's gone. With all due respect, the plan and the idea was to, if Alan had a strong pre-season, I was going to obviously start with Alan as the number one. I think he would have deserved that on the last 2 years in his form. Unfortunately, he's had a couple of knee niggles or injuries that have set him back, and John certainly took his chance, and he's performed well. He's playing with calmness, he's playing with experience, and he's keeping clean sheets and making saves. So it's very difficult to change the keeper in that situation. If it did work out as it would have worked out, I would have played John McLaughlin last night to give him a game, because I think you don't want your keepers going too long without a game, and unfortunately we're not in a position where we can play games behind closed doors because of the testing and stuff. So I do have to try and be, I wouldn't say clever is the right word, but I do have to think about trying to keep them both as fresh as I can, but also sharp with the right amount of minutes.
Luke, go ahead.
On Morelos, you said there that another player may not have made himself available given the gas you got at the weekend. Do you think there's a possibility, after all that's been said, his head had gone and he's refocused again, is there a possibility he could be at Rangers beyond this window?
Of course there's a possibility, because no one knows what's going to happen in the coming days, in the coming weeks. I said a few weeks back to the media that you just, in my situation, you take each day as it comes. The good thing is he's playing well, he's in much better shape, he's looking sharper, he's scoring goals, he's looking happy, and we just take it day by day. I think that's a question for Alfredo and his representation to answer rather than myself. But for me, at the moment, he's fit, he's available. It was fantastic to see him pull through, because I'm not talking about any other players, but Alfredo is someone who will put his body on the line for the club. I think he showed that last night by playing with the injury that he sustained at the weekend. He hasn't mentioned it since, so he'll have a rest day today, and then he'll be ready for the weekend.
Luke, go ahead, please.
Stephen, with some of the injuries, and you're then saying obviously with the goalkeepers it's good competition, how far away do you think you feel you are from having the squad you want, or how many more would you like to have in before the window ends?
Well, I think it depends. I think it depends on if anyone was to go out the door in terms of numbers, so it's difficult to give you a number on that. Everyone knows, it's no secret that we're looking for a midfielder to join us if we can find the right person. But if we can't find or make the person or the signing happen that I want, I'm not just going to jump in and take anyone. It needs to be the right person to fill this role. So it's a difficult question for me to answer right now, but we are looking to add and to strengthen. But in terms of how many will depend on if there's any action out the door as well.
Jordan Campbell, please.
Hi Stephen, you had all four of your strikers play last night to varying degrees of the game. How far away do you think you are at having your ideal system, whether it's one or two or three of them even, all starting on your team?
I think we've got the ideal system right now. I think we're winning games, I think we're keeping clean sheets, forwards are scoring goals. Cedric's the only one really that we need to obviously get him up to speed. He's missed a couple of weeks, which is not the ideal timing from his point of view. but he got a good 60 minutes under his belt last night. But I don't think we're trying to search for anything in terms of what we're looking for. We're happy with the names in the door at the moment. We're happy with how we're playing, the level we're performing at, and it's nice to have a lot of firepower to pick from.